In the small boat, round number 1. In lane 1, we have Adaptive Fusion. In lane 2, we have PAD's Dragonboat Racing. And in lane 3, we have the Out of Sight Dragons. As Carrie's mentioned, this is the first ever World Championships with our various ParaDragon categories. We are super excited for these teams to be racing here. We have small and standard boats at this championship, but the ParaDragon teams will be racing 10 paddlers in a standard boat. The IDBF is keen to develop the ParaDragons category, and over time, we are looking to grow those crews from 10 to 12, 14, and so on. We are very excited to see these athletes racing.
With the following teams, please go to the marshalling area now. The following teams, 52 and 53, to the marshalling area.
Now in lane 1, as we mentioned, is Adaptive Fusion. Adaptive Fusion Dragonboat Club is based in Long Beach, California, and is a member of the Southern California Dragonboat Club. Adaptive Fusion was formed in 2018 and is a collaboration of Blind Start and Deaf Dawn, which are 2 separate adaptive Dragonboat teams. This team is now a collaboration of blind, deaf, physically challenged, and autism spectrum athletes. This team went from a team that had significant difficulty communicating. I'm reading this from their bio. They have deaf members that can't hear some of the blind teammates speaking, some of the blind teammates who cannot see their deaf teammates signing. We have coaches and callers that have had to learn to communicate on the boat with signs, gestures, loud voices, and facial expressions. And now they all communicate not only through their ASL interpreter, but also through text voiceover, gestures, and teammates learning to sign, even our blind athletes. That's truly incredible. They've bonded in an extraordinary way as a team, and they are very excited to be racing here. They raced in the ParaDragons division in Colorado Springs at the U.S. National Championships in 2019 and pulled 4 gold medals. And at last year's CCNC, Club Crew National Championships here in the U.S., they pulled 4 gold medals as well, and that, of course, was hosted here in Sarasota, Florida. Now, boat number 2 is PADS, which stands for the Philippines Accessible Disability Services. PADS Dragonboat team is based in Cebu Island, Central Philippines. I had the pleasure of visiting Cebu and a few of these folks a few years ago. It's a beautiful place, and I wish I could race there all the time. PADS was formed in 2016 as an adaptive sports recreational rehab program of the Philippine Accessible Disability Services to create opportunities for people with disabilities in Cebu to engage in sports. PADS is the first cross-disability Dragonboat team in the Philippines, and they are truly amazing. At the 2019 IDBF World Championships in Thailand, they pulled 4 gold medals and were the ParaDragon champions at the Hong Kong International Dragonboat Carnival in 2017 and 2018 in the International ParaDragons division. Now we see these 3 teams pulling up to the start gates, and at the top of your screen in the bright neon, that is in fact the Out of Sight Dragons based out of Washington, D.C. OSD, also known as the Out of Sight Dragons, is based at the D.C. Wharf in southwest Washington, D.C. They are very excited to be here, and now we see them in the bright neon. That is boat number 3. We hear the starter. And they're off. This is race number 49, the PD1 Open Small Boat Heat 1. Coming out of the start fast with a nice high rate is PADS Dragonboat Racing Team from the Philippines. Their drummer is just wailing on that drum. It looks like boat number 1 is pushing a little bit for second place here.
Look at boat number 2. The front of that boat is really high off the water line.
It really is. They've put all of their paddlers, it looks like starting in lanes row 3 or row 4 even.
Oh, that's right. They've missing that front bench.
That's right.
That's a very interesting strategy.
And now out of Long Beach, California, we see boat number 1. That's Adaptive Fusion. Paddling as hard as they can. Again, this is the ParaDragons 1. They're over the line. And rounding out this race, number 49, is boat number 3, the Out of Sight Dragons. A great job to all 3 of these teams.
So they've used a standard boat with only 10 paddlers.
That is correct.
Just different strategies in how they set up their team there.
Indeed. There must be a lot of race strategy in figuring out which paddlers to put where, starting in which rows to leave open.
Great. That was a great race there, Matthew. We're now going to go to race number 50, Senior C Open.